Jumbo Cash and Carry, the big one, presents 10 rounds of boxing action between American Mike Rouse and South African Corrie on the Channel of Champions. Stay tuned to Fight Day.
The officials for this fight: the referee is Mr. Bokwana, the judges Messrs. Horn, Chani and Van Nieuwenhuizen. The timekeeper is Brown Mokhatsi. And now introducing, on my left, fighting out of the United States of America, in white and red trunks, weighing in at 110 kilograms, with a fight record of 13 wins, 6 losses and 1 draw. Please welcome Mike Rouse. And introducing, on my right, weighing in at 96.7 kilograms, in red and white shorts, unbeaten after 11 professional bouts, the South African heavyweight champion, Corrie Saunders.
I've both spoken to you in the dressing room. I want a clean fight. When I say break it, take a step back. Shake hands, come out, fight. Yes, mate.
Round one then. Corrie Saunders in the candy striped shorts against Mike Rouse from the USA in the red shorts. Two big boys going to go hammer and tongs in the schedule for 10 heavyweight tournament here in Sun City. With me, my co-commentator Andres Stein. Andres, how do you see this fight going?
Well, Mike Rouse is the guy with the most experience of the two. He's fought all the top guys in the world, and he's picked up a lot of weight. He's a much bigger guy now than when he fought Johnny Ploy.
Well, there's a worry here that if he starts leaning on Mr. Saunders here, that he may be too strong there. That he'll wear him down just by sheer body weight.
Yeah, well, I don't think Corrie was taken too lightly, and Corrie is very casual and calm.
Well, one thing about it, Mike Rouse can take the crack. He's got a lot of body weight, a big, strong neck there. As you say, he's been in with some good guys, and Saunders comes in letting those bombs go, those left and right. After his last excellent outing against Johnny Duploy, he's really ready to go to prove that he's by no fluke the South African champion, Andres.
Corrie Saunders looks very cool and calm, yeah, and he's taking it easy. And a lot of confidence, Corrie Saunders, but he shouldn't let his hands hang too low, because Mike Rouse is quite a dangerous opponent. And although he's also a southpaw, we can expect a good fight.
Corrie Saunders certainly improves in confidence every time I see him, Andres. The beginning of his career, when we used to feature on Memphis, he looked a rather timid young man. Now he certainly, as he's going through his professional career here with a total of 11 fights and 11 wins, he's certainly growing in confidence and stature every day.
Especially after his win over Johnny Duploy. Gave him a lot of confidence. And you can see the way he's punching here at Mike Rouse. He's letting those punches fly.
Well, Mike Rouse has more than 40 fights in his bag as a professional. He's an experienced man, as we say, and these two guys are really going for it now. Some good punches. Mike Rouse trying to get a few body shots in there. Corrie Saunders able to tie him up, pull him in, just get the danger away.
Listen, Corrie Saunders, nice hand speed for a heavyweight. And he's connected with a couple of solid punches, especially the combinations. You see the double right hand?
He also took a shot there.
And he moves well.
I think we can see here a fair bit of training effort gone in from Harold Polbrecht. Being a lighter-weight man himself, I think lighter-weights tend to train their fighters like lighter-weights. And you can see a big man here trying to be very, very nimble.
Yes, and he's improved a hell of a lot under Harold Polbrecht.
A little bit of lull here. We had a couple of frenetic minutes as we come towards the end here of round one. Corrie Saunders.
Fast round there for heavyweights.
Corrie Saunders, we say, in the candy shorts here, Andres, the red of Mike Rouse. Mike Rouse holds in, pulls in. Referee Bokwana gets in, pushes the guys apart. I would like to be referee Bokwana tonight. He's got two very heavy ton weights there.
Yeah, and especially if these guys, if they go and lay on top of one another, it will be a difficult job for the day.
Let's see what Barry Larrington and Brian Mitchell here, the champ. How do you find that first round there, Brian?
Well, Robin, Corrie Saunders, as you so rightly said, is boxing nicely behind that right jab. One real advantage for his trainer, Harold Polbrecht, is that he was a good southpaw in his time, and now he's training a southpaw.
Right, Corrie
I think what Corrie's got to watch is, in fact, although he's devastating in this little replay, that it's the left hand of Rouse. He brings it over and catches Corrie high up on the jaw every time when he lets it go. He seemed to be a little bit guarded in letting it go in this first round, Brian.
That's right, but he was very relaxed in the first round, but he's fast the first round. He's got to pick his defense up a little bit, but boxing nicely behind that jab and using some good ring craft there.
Well, you two guys, do you think that's the Saunders first round just about?
Just a good shading. If you're going to shade on a 10-must scorecard, which we are, then definitely a 10-must to Corrie Saunders.
Must be 10, must be 9 to the other guy. Here we go, into round 2. Corrie Saunders, I'll say the candy stripe shorts, a little bit confusing it can be against Mike Rouse of the USA of the red shorts. Mike Rouse 110 kg this morning. Corrie Saunders well down at 96.70. 14 kg almost between these two guys, which may be significant later, we'll see. Mike Rouse hasn't had the chance yet to lean on, to put Corrie under any type of pressure. Corrie Saunders is dancing away, showing great footwork there, aren't they?
Yes, but he's moving the wrong way, Robin. He's moving into Rouse's left hand.
He should be moving to his left.
He should be moving to his left hand, away from Rouse's left. Especially with his right hand hanging down. He's open to a left cross.
Yeah, Rouse comes out with that jab. It doesn't seem to do much there. There was a good right. Probably, I think this is one of the strongest opponents Corrie Saunders must have met in his relatively short career, aren't they?
I think it's the strongest guy that he's met.
Round 2 here at Sun City Day. Corrie Saunders against Mike Rouse at scheduled for 10 heavyweight tournament. Good opening first round for Corrie Saunders, the SA champion. The two fighters grapple in close-up. Mike Rouse, as we thought, if he wants to make this extra weight pay, that's the way to do it. Just put Saunders back, lean on, don't let Saunders fight his way out on this.
I don't think Saunders should allow Rouse to get close to him to use his bigger weight advantage. It was a good body shot from Corrie Saunders going through, and the left took a good right hook on the jaw of Rouse.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Super punch there for Corrie Saunders there, Andres.
A good right hook that caught Rouse on the jaw. It was first the body punch that softened him up.
Break.
Yeah, Rouse, the good professional that he is, knows what to do. Come forward, hold in.
You see, Rouse doesn't try and fight back now. He's spoiling Corrie Saunders by holding.
He's even smiling at Harold Fullback in the other corner, I think, saying, I know what to do to stop this.
Break.
Scintillating round there for Corrie Saunders. I think he almost had Rouse going right down again there, Andre. Direct couldn't quite make it.
That's right. Rouse is just a little bit too clever. Corrie Saunders is doing well, working the body there, getting those hands down.
Yep. Swinging very wildly there, Andrews, in fact.
But Rouse definitely in trouble.
Rouse saying, come on, you're not hurting me, but I don't believe that at all, Andres, but fighters do that.
No, definitely not. Especially when they hurt, that's when they do it. They invite the opponent in.
I suppose they think it gives themselves back a bit of confidence. Well, an end of a good round there for Corrie Saunders, Brian.
Thanks, Robin. A great round there for Corrie Saunders. As you see, the 10-8 round for him. Came in with some devastating combinations. Nice to see he was following up after he had his opponent down.
Barry,
I'd like to see the slow motion of it and see exactly.
I think we see it coming up right now. Barry, you want to take us through it?
There it is, yes. Well, it gets a great right here, and it really does come up and hits him high up on the cheekbone, basically. And as it comes through, and that's the one. There it is, right up on the cheekbone.
We see that right uppercut, very terrific right uppercut.
Well, afterwards, Saunders, when Rouse got back on his feet, he just couldn't bring that out again, could he? Here we see that punch again, Barry.
Yeah, great right, no doubt about that. But my word, at that stage, wasn't Rouse being a little ragged with his punching, Brian? Left himself straight open, didn't he?
Mike Rouse did show a lot of experience in holding out to finish that round off strongly. He showed he could hold on, and he used his weight advantage there in the later part of the round.
Okay, thanks, Barry and Brian. Let's get back into round 3 then with Corrie Saunders on our card. Well ahead yet the first 2 rounds against Mike Rouse. Here we go then. Mike Rouse defending on. Corrie Saunders obviously going to come forward maybe and try and finish this off in round 3. Corrie Saunders showed great maturity in this fight. Real strong punching, watching his opponent, the heavier guy, not getting into trouble, giving those punches when they need be. Mike Rouse professional that he is, holding on, pulling in, trying to stop Corrie getting those bombs off, Andres.
Corrie Saunders looking very relaxed and looking off the right jab. The right hand that he uses for the jab, he hooks off it very well. And that is a punch that catches Rouse every time.
Well, my word, Andres, I think anybody with confidence after a start like that against a good, solid opponent like that.
Right.
An opponent who's had almost 4 times as many fights as you, I think you'd be pretty pleased, wouldn't you?
Corrie Saunders fighting like a seasoned pro. Doesn't go into Rouse heads over heel. He checks what he's doing. He watches his punches.
We've got to remember too that in better days, Johnny Dufloy went the full distance with Mike Rouse, so Mike Rouse can take him as well.
Definitely, he's a strong guy. Right. He takes the punch quite well.
Yeah, Mike Rouse, a type of fighter, he's an opponent, a good, strong opponent. Top fighters meet him on the way up and on the way down. He gives a good account whatever he does.
He doesn't give up easily, as he showed in the second round. He got up there after a good punch from Saunders, and he finished the round very strong.
Saunders there just looking at that very cultured right hand there.
Yeah, Saunders will just have to watch after his jab. He doesn't stand too still because Mike Rouse comes in with the head very low like now there, and it can result in a butt.
Well, I think I've seen Corrie Saunders cut the odd time between in some of the fights we've done. A couple of good shots there from Saunders coming right in there. Rouse just puts one arm behind his back and holds on. Saunders got to push his way, got to step back out of this on. He's got to get out of it.
He's got to get out of it. Saunders gets too close to Rouse. He tries to throw those heavy bombs.
The Rouse comes forward, is able to pull in. Saunders must step back even more, I think, to get him to come forward.
Yeah, he should use his jab. He's got a very good jab, Saunders. He's got good reflexes, very good eye, and he sees those punches of Rouse very far, and he fought Rouse with a very good left hand, but he doesn't tend to follow up quick enough.
Almost a kind of sleepy round, dare we say it, for Corrie Saunders. They're going through the motions. As we say, though, of course, every time you say this when you commentate about they come to life, but Corrie Saunders hasn't quite found those punches that he found in the first 2 rounds.
That's right, and he swings with the left hand.
Ryan, slower round there for Corrie.
Slightly slower, taking a bit of a breather there, Rob, and he had a very tough second round, dropping a guy and piling on the pressure like it makes you tired. But I felt that he won the 3rd round as well, and he's cruising nicely, he's picking up the round, and using that right jab effectively.
Barry, how do you see that?
Yeah, I thought he did well. I think one thing he didn't do during the course of that round, which he did so well in the second, was to go to the body. He seemed to almost forget that he did so well in the body in the second round and suddenly go headhunting, Brian.
That's right, Barry. Against such a big guy with a big body, that's the right fight for Corrie Saunders to fight, is to work that body and slow him down, especially because it's a long 10-round fight.
Well, Brian, one question before we get into the next round. The Saunders guy doesn't seem to be able to back off quick enough to get away from Rouse holding on to him.
Well, he's getting a little bit close, as Andy said earlier on, to unload with some big punches. And he needs to step back a little bit if he wants to really be effective.
Thanks, Brian. Here we go into round 4, scheduled for 10. Cracking heavyweight tournament here at Sun City. Corrie Saunders in the candy stripes, as we call them. Mike Rouse of the USA in the big red trunks there. Corrie Saunders on our card. Doing quite well here. We've got in three rounds up out of 3 rounds. Here we go into round 4. Saunders coming forward again. Mike Rouse also not determined not to be outdone here. Strong boy Mike Rouse on this.
Yeah, I'd like to see Corrie Saunders go to the body more. I think he intended to go too much to the head in the 3rd round because he fought Rouse in the 2nd round, and I think he should work the body more now.
As you said earlier on when we were talking, the body's for later. Those punishing blows, they tell off in the later rounds.
Oh, definitely.
And of course, Mike Rouse here comes from sea level. I think he's from Portsmouth, Virginia, something like the United States. Here's at 5,000 feet. Heavyweights tend to blow later on when they come up to 5,000 feet, don't they?
Well, I think it'll start showing up from the 6th round onwards.
Corrie, of course, used to training at altitude, so he shouldn't be affected at all. Great fighter flapping away there.
But Corrie Saunders doing well. He's throwing enough punches at Rouse, making him work.
Rouse, of course, is a big target, Andre.
He's a big guy. I haven't seen too many left left hands from Rouse coming out.
Referee Buchanan not happy there. Mr. Mike Rouse bobbing and weaving too low. Let me come again. There goes the right hand there of Mike Rouse around the back of Corrie Saunders. Referee Buchanan pushing him apart. A good midriff digger there, Corrie Saunders.
Nice body shot. Towards Rouse as he came in.
That's the shot there. That right hook is a real lethal one, isn't it, from Corrie?
It's actually a dangerous punch to attack the opponent with, because he leaves himself right open when he comes forward.
Oh,
as you can see now, they
break. That was a couple of double ups there from Corrie Saunders.
Saunders has to watch out for the right hand of Mike Rouse coming through there when he moves forward with his own body punches.
He's digging away there, Saunders, with that right whenever he gets the chance, just above the belt line there. Saunders going on his bicycle.
Of course, what is very pleasing here, Robin, is the fact that Corrie Saunders, he tries to slip the punches and then counter with his own.
I think Saunders has probably realised now we're well into round 4 that he's probably got the measure of Rouse. He might be able to finish him, he might not, but I think he realises he's probably stronger than his opponent, Andres.
He shows more strength, and like I said earlier on, for a young fighter like Corrie Saunders to slip punches the way he does, it's very pleasing to see.
That right from Saunders is a real sweeper, isn't it? It's a real good punch.
Very good punch.
Must be very hard there for Rouse to see it, but that's the end of round 4. Brian, once again.
Although the pace has slowed down since the second round, but not as exciting as it was in the first and second round. Saunders seems to be picking up all the rounds, as you said, using that right jab effectively, and as Andy so rightly said, you was watching the slow motion there, using a lot of good ring craft.
Barry, that right there from Corrie Saunders is a real sweet one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I also thought that on this occasion, that's a great right as well from Rouse, I might add. If there were two of those during the course of the round, that I thought that Corrie was maybe getting a little bit over-enthusiastic. And although, as Brian said, the pace has certainly dropped down, the punches are now really telling, no doubt about that.
That's right. I was glad to see Saunders picking up the body punches a bit in that round.
I think, as we said earlier on, Brian, those pay off later in the fight.
Most definitely, especially as you said, a guy coming from sea level, is coming so many miles to fight. That's where you've got to hurt the guys in the body.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Barry. Let's go into round 5, and here we go on the halfway stage of Corrie Saunders against Mike Rouse. Nice little touch of glove there, Corrie Saunders in again. Taking out that right.
Talking about the pace of the fight here, Robin, you know, of course, it's two big guys in the ring, and not many heavyweight fights are as fast as this one.
Andres, you're a former fighter, you're a manager, a promoter, you've done it all in boxing. What would you be saying to Corrie Saunders at this stage if you were sat there in the corner?
I would let him box behind the jab and stay away from Rouse and work the body more.
Would you be encouraging Corrie to come forward and try and finish it, or not at this stage?
Not at this stage. Mike Rouse stays a dangerous fighter as long as he's on his feet.
A great flurry of blows there from Corrie.
I should let Corrie boxing like he's doing there, and he's doing very well. He's outboxing Rouse at the moment. Rouse just can't land any blows on him, and that is a good thing that comes in Corrie's favour.
And the interesting thing too there, Andres, is the fact that Mike Rouse hasn't been able to use his 14 kg weight advantage anywhere. Corrie's kept out the way, he hasn't let him press against the rope, he hasn't been worn down by it.
That's right, and he hasn't allowed Rouse to use his weight advantage by leaning on him.
Crisp punching there for Corrie Saunders, left and right, going in, Mike Rouse looking at him, blowing a bit, that quizzical smile on his face.
Yes, although the pace has dropped off, but still Corrie Saunders, the crisper puncher of the two.
Yeah, there's some real venom behind those punches there, Andres.
Nice crisp punching from Corrie Saunders.
I think we've seen in this round so far, Saunders is a faster man on the floor than Mike Rouse. Mike Rouse doing a knee wobble, but we haven't seen much from Rouse in the way of punches in this round, Andres. This is halfway through.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything, and it's easy for a fighter to stay out of trouble by not throwing punches.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Very quick left from Corrie Saunders there. Mike Rouse is still playing the fool, and he got tagged.
Saunders going to come in again after that great left there. Punching Mike Rouse, trying to punch him out. Mike Rouse going to come forward and hold on. There we go.
Right.
trying to separate them. Rouse being warned for warning. Here we go. Saunders must come forward again. Frank, a super punch there which put Mike Rouse down the seat of his pants. Rouse getting up behind him, Andres.
Mike Rouse still holding on there, trying to survive.
I think the 10th.
Another right hook there from Corrie Saunders. And Mike Rouse is in deep trouble. Corrie Saunders shouldn't go too well now. He should watch where he throws his punches, because Mike Rouse has got his hands. Very good body shot there.
Oh, Rouse is holding on for grim life there. Almost a real embrace, I think. Don't hit me anymore. What a great round there for Corrie Saunders, Brian.
That's a great round, Robin. We saw some excitement there, and really Corrie Saunders is looking the part tonight of a good South African heavyweight champion. For a man coming at 11 fights, coming off that first round knockout victory over Johnny DePloy, he's really putting up a great fight.
He's looking very impressive.
Yes, indeed. And this right that he throws here, and the left that he throws that follows it up with, is unbelievable. It really was.
Perfectly timed right hand there, but he just took his time, and he was just... It looked like it was almost in slow motion, but it really
forward to the right, opens him up, and then lands
really
the left.
worked him.
Superb, really
Rouse
was.
unfortunately had both his legs together, but he was really hurt there. He took the full count of 8. Once again, a great round for Corrie Saunders.
I think, quite honestly, he did well to survive that. 58 seconds to go in that round. I looked quickly at the watch, and with that sort of power from two big boys, you've done well to stand up.
Once again, showed a lot of experience in holding on to survive that round.
Andres, if we go into round 6, Andres, I'm sure on your card you've got Corrie Saunders 5 out of 5 rounds so far.
Oh, definitely, and he won another 10-8 round here.
Here we go then, round 6, scheduled for 10, Corrie Saunders against Mike Rouse, the United States. On our card, Corrie Saunders cruising this away. He's had Mike Rouse down twice already in this fight, in round 2 and round 5. Is he going to do it again? Is he going to pick up the pace? Of course, big Mike Rouse, Corrie, once again back onto the rope. And down.
So Mike Rouse's punch is very slow, Robin.
I think Corrie could probably see them come in and come out to avoid them, or just get one in before they arrive. Right hand is a real good punch, isn't it?
It's a pity he throws it up quick. He's very upright when he throws that right hook. I think if he goes a bit more forward, if he bends his body a bit, he'll be more effective with the punch.
Nice block there by Corrie. Just blocked the punch as it came in, just glanced it away and put it in back himself.
Not many punches of Rouse's have gone through Corrie Saunders in the defense.
Oh, that was beautiful.
You see that body shift? It was a beautiful body shift by Corrie Saunders.
Right. Saunders almost having time to look over his opponent's shoulder, say to his corner, what do I do next? Frank. You must get a time on this in a fight like this where you put the guy down twice, you rocked him 3 or 4 times, you begin to say to yourself, what do I have to do?
Absolutely, and I think Corrie Saunders is fighting tremendously. He's got the makings of a champion, it looks like it, because not many fighters have got the body shift that Corrie Saunders used there when he dropped when he had Mike Rouse himself in the beginning of the round.
Right, Mike Rouse certainly felt the force of those blows as Corrie spun out and let them go. Nice move for a heavyweight.
Oh, definitely.
Little feint there, left shoulder dipping, coming out to the right. Great. Corrie Saunders, I think Andre's just got to keep cool, keep the punches flowing. His time will come.
Well, Mike Rouse shows you that he's an experienced fighter. He knows what to do when he's in trouble. He's a spoiler, actually.
Great. Last 20 seconds in round 6 coming up. Once again, good round so far for Corrie Saunders. Some good blows going in. Mike Rouse is still giving him out, still trying to punch. Backing up onto the ropes, muttering under his breath. I would like to know what he's saying, Andres.
I just thought that Corrie Saunders was a bit too close to Mike Rouse there. And he did the same thing then. He walks into him.
Brian, I'm sure you would enjoy doing that little spin, that body shift over in the corner there.
That's right, Robin. Funny enough, as an old adult four-breath today, you can see he's been working well with Corrie Saunders in the gym. Corrie moved from side to side in the corner, threw his opponent into it, and he hit him with a terrific left hook. Almost had him down once again, but he had Mike.
Just have a look how he does it.
There we see the slow motion.
It goes back, left, right. Yeah, left, right.
There you see Mike Rouse just reeling backwards there.
And in fact, that really is an old gym trick, is it not? You use the corner post, bit of bobbing and weaving and go back.
That's right.
There he goes, left, right.
There we see you give your opponent that little bit of confidence, Barry. You draw him into it, and you see Corrie Saunders hit him there with a left hook, and he goes reeling back.
I think
another terrific round.
Corrie stood away from him, didn't he? And I think at that stage, he thought he was going to drop.
He wasn't sure if he was going down, and he didn't realize he'd hurt him that bad.
We also saw, I think, Barry, a little... Wise words there for Harold Fallback. We picked those up before we go into round 7 there. Dawson coming out, touching gloves. Corrie Saunders doing very well in this fight so far. Well ahead on our card, going to round 7.
Corrie Saunders saw that punch very well, got out of the way. You can see Corrie Saunders, when you look in his eyes, he's alert all the time. He stays alert, and that's a sign of a good fighter.
Yeah, both fighters too, by the looks of it, not damaged around the face on. I can't see any cuts or bruises, not much at this stage.
Corrie Saunders hasn't taken much punishment in this fight.
Saunders over here in the left-hand corner, trying to do the same move again. Fates left, goes right. Comes out with that beautiful right. Saunders comes in there.
Right, very good right. Right. It was first the right hook to the body that had that defense of Rouse going down and crossed with a left. Tremendous left.
But except when, as we see now with Rouse pushing out, Saunders has very good ring skill here. He manages to trap the guy, get him into good position.
You see that right hook of Corrie Saunders, that's a very good punch that he throws there. Right. And because it's so crispy, it's perfect timing, and you can see the result. Every time he catches Rouse with that shot, he shakes him up.
Those body blows he's been putting in the beginning rounds, and then we see another one should start to tell soon. Mike Rouse should start feeling that leather beat that's been going to his body.
All we can hope for is that Corrie Saunders keeps up this pattern of fighting, because heavyweights, as they get older, they tend to get lazy and they stop their moves.
Well, remember that with Muhammad Ali in the end. It was so good at the beginning and then slowed down dramatically as the years, and I suppose the punches take their toll on Reese.
I suppose it does.
But here we are, Corrie Saunders, a young man, still plenty of future, the SA champion. 11 fights as a pro, this is his 12th fight. If the man is there for more than 40 fights as a pro, Mike Rouse in the United States. Good solid there, good solid punches going into Corrie Saunders as Mike Rouse just holds on once again. Referee pulls him apart. Taking off a point.
He's warned Rouse for holding. Good right uppercut there from Corrie Saunders. He could have put him higher on the head there. Comes forward.
Referee Buchanan busy in this round. Like the business he's been so far. Here we go, pushing in again. Getting a little bit tired. Keep those punches up, Rouse, he says. Buchanan's coming forward. Well, Brian, Brian, a quiet round in some ways for Corrie there.
Well, but it was from, we've seen so much action in round 6 and 7, and that looked like a quiet round. As Andy so rightly early on said, it's quite a fast pace for two heavyweights. You've got one guy here being 110 kilos and the other guy 96. Big guys out there as we watch the slow motion. And they're throwing a lot of punches in the 7 rounds that we've seen.
Yeah, Barry, looks as though that Rouse was hurt a little bit from time to time in that round, but Corrie was either loath or not able to follow it up.
I think there, watch that. A good one to the body, a great left shot across. It really went right across. And I'm sure Harold Fulbert's got a lot to say to Corrie Saunders. You think about it?
Well, we see the ubiquitous sponge, water bottle, towel. Coming out there for Corrie Saunders. Here we go then. Here we go then into round 8. Corrie Saunders in this real humdinger of a fight there. With Mike Rouse in the red shorts. The big guy here from Portsmouth, Virginia, United States. Holding on here. Not doing too well against Corrie Saunders, but he's still in there. He's still strong. He's still strong. Saunders looking here with a vengeance. His eyes very alert, you said early on, Andres. He's watching.
Mike Rouse scored twice with the right jab. But I think that's the best we can expect from Corrie Saunders. I heard Darryl Forbrack giving him advice there to hook off the right jab.
Right followed by the left. The left.
Corrie Saunders' left comes out very fast.
Right. He's even able there to wheel Rouse around. You see that, Andres? He's able to pull him around, almost try and get him back in position for another punch.
So it doesn't allow Rouse to push him up against the ropes. He turns away from the ropes very nicely.
Right. Well, Rouse just able to bob down and take that shot going back over his shoulder. Good right there from Saunders into the body again.
Corrie Saunders will have to watch out. He doesn't drop his hands too low when he walks into Mike Rouse.
He's got Rouse a little bit worried, Andres.
Mike Rouse is not doing much. Corrie Saunders will have to watch out for those wild swings of Rouse's when he goes forward.
But Rouse also, Andres, when he starts rope-a-doping, when he starts saying, come on, or he wobbles, he is hurt, I think. He's a clever fighter in that way.
You see that left hook that Corrie Saunders throws to the body there is a little bit too wide, and it lands more on the back of Rouse.
Saunders, he set that up for about 30 seconds, it seemed. Left right off the rope, came back and let that right go.
See Corrie Saunders hit Rouse with that jab.
Saunders seems so relaxed here, Andres. He's enjoying himself. Moving sweetly, letting those punches go just at the right time.
Yes, he's enjoying this fight tremendously. You have to watch his defense when he walks forward. Mike Rouse just throws those wild swings.
Once again, Rouse has a physical look there. The hip didn't hurt.
Mike Rouse's defense holding well there.
He tries to load up Rouse, doesn't he, on that left, with his body coming forward. If it ever hits you, I think we'll see the middle of next week.
Come you better. Well, he throws a right, vicious left hand, but luckily for Saunders, he's not connecting.
Whoa, in around 8, Brian.
Oh, Robin Corrie definitely having a picnic out there. He's stealing every round, not stealing them. He's winning them convincingly and really showing his class here tonight. As you said earlier, the young fighter with 11 fights under his belt, really got a good future ahead of him. Doing a lot more than deployed than against the experienced Rouse.
Barry, he looks so relaxed here. Let's have a look what
he does. He once again is really, as Brian described it, having a picnic, but I think what one's got to be so careful of, regardless of the fact of how easy it looks, is a big man is Rouse, and you must never ever take your eye off him, because if you do that, he still can unload a big one on you if you're not careful. Think that left, he's got a great left if he unloads it.
That's right, Robin. You can never underestimate any opponent, especially a big man.
Round 9 coming up then. Corrie Saunders. This man, Mike Rouse, getting final instructions before going out into round 9. Penultimate round, here we go then. Corrie Saunders against Mike Rouse. On our card, Corrie Saunders well up in front. 2 rounds to go to have a good win against a strong opponent for the United States, Mike Rouse.
Yeah, the only way Mike Rouse can beat Corrie Saunders now is to connect to one of those wild swings. But I don't think Corrie Saunders is going to allow him to land one of those big shots.
I would guess according to our card, probably Saunders about 6 or 7 points up front here now.
Mike Rouse connecting there with a combination of right and left.
We've seen a bit of life here from Mike Rouse. I think really it's up to Corrie Saunders to get after it. Once the guy starts bouncing on all those feet, it's up to the other guy, I think, to get after him, Andres.
Mike Rouse trying to move but not succeeding quite well.
Break.
Round 9, Corrie Saunders. Letting go that quick right, Corrie Saunders in the straight shorts. Taking a shot he's holding in. Little flurry here from Corrie Sanders. Rouse, seeing as he's done most of the fight, taken a lot of shots, but when it comes to a critical time, great hold in to stop Corrie launching off those bombs.
Corrie Sanders turning Rouse around there, but Rouse very strong and heavy.
Don't wrestle. Don't wrestle. No wrestle.
Referee Buchanan says no wrestle, guys. This is boxing. Rouse here coming towards the end of round 9. And 10 rounds of Johnny deployed a couple of years ago. Beckoning Corrie Sanders off. Come on. Sure sign that he's hurting. Of course. Sanders trying to get those punches in. Rouse covering up now, coming back, trying to fight his way out off the ropes.
Corrie Sanders sees that Mike Rouse has got his hands up high, protecting his face, and he goes to the body.
Yeah, those blows will bring those arms down in the end. Sanders is blasting through that guard.
Mike Rouse scoring.
Break. Don't hold and hit.
Don't hold on it, but we haven't seen much dirty work from Mike Rouse. He's been a pretty clean opponent, so I think we can let him off that.
Don't use the rope. Don't use the rope. Don't use the rope.
Corrie Sanders has been told don't use the ropes. He's beginning to get a little bit clever, I think, with those boxing and rebounds.
He's riding the ropes there, and that's actually not allowed.
Into round 9 here.
Break.
Strange type of round in a way. Sanders trying to get through, getting Corrie into trouble, but getting Mike Rouse into trouble, but not quite doing enough, Brian, in some ways.
Robert, well, he's fighting a very experienced fighter, you know. Mike Rouse picks his hands up a lot when he gets hurt. But Corrie Sanders one thing in obviously winning the round, but a bit of a slower round. He hurt him in the early part of the round. And Mike Rouse pulls that shuffle that Tony Lopez uses when he's been hurt, you know, drops his hand. And that's, as Andy said earlier on, as we watch the slow motion, there we see him doing it. You know that a guy's been hurt when he starts putting on the action. He's telling Corrie to something as well. But Corrie's well in command here, 1 round to go. He's just got to stay out of trouble and not really take any chances.
Well, Barry, with one round to go, a convincing performance here from Corrie
Yes,
Sanders.
very good indeed. It's nice to see him. I think everyone thought that maybe he took the South African title by a bit of a surprise effort, but it does prove a point. The boy can go the distance. He's obviously been well trained by Harold Fulbrecht, no doubt about that, in the gym. And to put up a performance against this American who's traveled a long way to be here and fighting at altitude. He's obviously a bit tired, but a good performance indeed by Sanders.
Thank you, Barry. Let's go in the last round, round 10. Both fighters come forward, test the gloves. Corrie Sanders, the candy shorts, his Mike Rouse, the big red shorts. Half card, Corrie Sanders doing very well against his overseas opponent. Let's see how this fight goes through the last 3 minutes. Mike Rouse coming forward. He wants to get a verdict here. He knows he's got all to do. A lot of points behind, probably only a knockout can now save him. He's got to come forward. We'll try and get one of those big bombs in against Corrie Sanders here. Sanders, he knows he's just got to defend, keep going nicely, and the match is his.
Yes, Corrie Sanders showing a lot of maturity for a young heavyweight. And fighting very well, moving very well, moving the ring, using the ring well, and not allowing Mike Rouse to dominate the center of the ring.
I wonder if we're going to see a real strong flurry here from Corrie, Andres. I'm sure all boxers like to get the crowd going once again in the last round, don't they?
Break.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's going to try to do something in this last round. We can expect Corrie Sanders to try and land a knockout in this
Well,
round.
he's got to be careful he doesn't take the sucker punch himself and go down, because he's so far ahead on our card that it will be a real pity. Corrie coming forward, trying to get that punch off. Rouse coming off the rope, holding on, snapping, head down, just pulling in. Referee Buchanan comes in and says, come on, boys. Sanders coming forward, a little flurry, left and right. Solid there, solid reply from Rouse himself.
Corrie Sanders not scared to attack. And it doesn't show Mike Rouse any respect.
Flipping right comes around there. Mike Rouse took it on the shoulder by the look of it. And on the top of the head.
Yes, and he didn't allow Mike Rouse to hold him on. Hold on to him after he caught him with that punch.
Sanders letting it go. A beautiful dip with the right shoulder on this, and let's go to the right.
Took that punch as well.
Mike Rouse goes down to his knee. Referee Buchanan gives him the count.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Standing 8 great count there. Saunders is going to come in there, try and finish off the last round. Mike Rouse coming forward, leading on.
Break.
Third time that Mike Rouse has been down, Andre.
Yes, Mike Rouse once again shows his experience by holding on to Corrie Saunders, not allowing him to unleash any more of those bombs. But Corrie Saunders not allowing Mike Rouse to hold on to him. You can see how he pulls him around, and he pulls his arm out of the clinch. But he's hurting Mike Rouse.
Rouse down again. Second time in round 10.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Right.
Corrie Saunders coming in again. Mike Rouse almost defenseless on the bell there. Almost down for the third time at the end. Very gutsy performance from Mike Rouse, but I think Brian Corrie Saunders has overwhelmed him.
That's right. That's about the only thing that can be said for Mike Rouse tonight is the gutsy performance. And he lost the 10 rounds with a good fight in Corrie Saunders. Corrie Saunders showing a lot of good ring movement tonight, Robin. Showing a lot of stamina as well. You know, he was throwing punches from the first bell. And as Andy said, showing a lot of good ring craft for a young fighter. There was slow motion.
Yep, Saunders going down onto the knee.
So it was the body punches that dropped Rouse in the 10th round. Really a superb performance from young Corrie Saunders.
Well, where does he go from here, Brian?
Well, from here we're going to carry on looking at building up international opponents for him, and obviously try and get him a world rating eventually. There's not many opponents to challenge him for his South African title, so really what he's looking for now is a world ranking.
Well, Barry, it's going to be quite tough actually, because Corrie's only had 12 fights.
Indeed, absolutely right. And I think really there's an absolute dearth, I think, of heavyweights around, and I think that is the problem. And I think with a man like Corrie Saunders, I think with all due respect, he's one of those fellows who could go far, but now must be managed correctly. And Brian was absolutely right in saying he must be looked after. He's going to be the opponents must be checked for him to make sure that they suit his style. And I think he could go well. This is the best fight I've ever seen him fight, and I must be honest, I thought when he won the title, I thought it could well have been Johnny Deploy, who didn't train and let himself down, because there was a talented heavyweight if ever there was one. And I think there's a great possibility of a long and certainly successful future for this young heavyweight.
Yeah, well, here we see Corrie Saunders waiting out for the decision, which I'm sure he knows, Andres, that he's got. Corrie Saunders pacing up and down here. Must be satisfied, Andres, with a good performance professionally. You must feel it inside you at this stage.
Oh, definitely. I can see Corrie Saunders has got the making of a champion. Although he didn't fight the greatest of fighters, but Mike Rouse is a guy with a lot of experience. And Corrie Saunders didn't have everything his own way. Although he had Mike Rouse down 3 times in this fight, 4 times actually. But here is the official result.
We have the unanimous points decision. The winner, Corrie Saunders.
Saunders takes the cheers of the crowd. A winner, Corrie Saunders. Good win for Corrie Saunders. For Corrie Saunders coming up, real difficult to find quality opponents in the critical stage of his career, but good win tonight against Mike Rouse of the United States.